around 91, 92 when Flair left, you were you were obviously like one of the seniors in the company. Did you try to take leadership role, or did you really not care at that point?
I always care.
Okay.
To this day, I care. I mean, I told you, whether it was a house show that wasn't advertised properly, in front of 200 people, or Madison Square Garden, so I watch the same match. So I always care. So, because the 200 people I feel do show up, deserve, to give it the effort from the guys.
Right.
So, I always care, but as far as taking a leadership role, as far as I'm not like I knew wrestling was never going to get unionized because the wrestlers would never stick together.
Right.
So I was never a guy that was, if someone would ask my advice and I legitimately wants my advice, I would give it to them. I never offer it. And that's not, I don't care. It's because I don't think it's my place to say I want my opinion.
Right.
That's a respect thing.
Right.
Just to another human being, I don't go to guys that have matches and start being leader, hey, you shouldn't have done this and that, that was the wrong place to do that. And I'm doing that in my match. You should ask me. And I never did this. I always thought it was taking the high road, I guess. I don't mean that in an arrogant way. I just mean, I take the high road. If a guy wants to do 10 man high spots and half of them are in your match later on, and God bless him, Let him do it, I'm not going to work up about it,
Right. Memories of your match with Sting against the Steiners. It was really rare because at the time it was like one of the first times that a national company had two babyface tag teams going against each other.
Yeah, no one thought it'd work.
That was good. It was really good.
No one thought it'd work. I can't take credit for it because Sting and then put Kimber was the spots, but because I'm not like a spot kind of guy,
right.
in my head. But yeah, that was a good feeling, that match, because everybody in the back was like, the veteran guys, oh, they're going to bomb.
Okay.
Here's four of the not young but younger bay faces that were pushing. They were we'll throw them in the same match together. Watch them. Let's see how they do without us. Making them look good.
Right.
And the match turned out good, so it was satisfying that we had a good match. We that was very enjoyable.
How did things play out with you going to WWF? What made you leave WCW at the time?
Really, the thing with Harley kind of started me thinking, oh gosh, we're if you can't respect Harley race and stuff like that, what is there here? Not that there wasn't anything there. They paid my paycheck, I appreciated of it and everything else, but I was kind of, and I think anybody who was at WCW at the time wanted to at least try to succeed with WWF, because they were always, at that point, considered number one. You know what I mean? So if you're ambitious and care about the business, you at least want to try. So I think it wasn't so much disenchantment with WCW, but wanting to try, WWF.
Did you contact them?
How did that come down exactly?
Because I know you were still under contract when you went there, and that's why they brought you in.
Actually, I did the bodybuilding thing.
Right.
Segue.
That was the way to bring you in.
That was the way to bring me in, and not interfere with like an actual wrestling contract.
What did you think of the WBF?
I wanted to succeed because I didn't Vince put a lot of money into it, time and effort. He cared a lot about it.
Right.
And I didn't know if it would work, but I wanted it to work. And, it didn't turn out very well. He's done a lot of things well, obviously, but it didn't turn out well. But I wanted to do well for him.
What did he propose actually with the WBF? Where did he want to take it? I mean, obviously it didn't go where he wanted it to, but
I think he wanted to be like an entertainment extravaganza with the guys, with the guy, like almost like cartoon characters who come out, pose these super bodies and,
right.
And make them like Batman and Superman and the different nicknames. And I thought he could really, pull up pay-per-views and stuff like that. And you can't blame him for trying. He started a lot of stuff people probably said wouldn't work, and they have. So, that one didn't work. But I mean, can't blame him for trying. You got to respect his got a lot of balls.
Right.
Trying.
What were your initial impressions of Vince when you first met him? Now to actually do business with him.
just treats you like a member of his own family. I mean, takes you to his house, his poolside. Must have made tuna fish sandwiches with you in his kitchen, and my house is your house, and nothing but a positive impression from him. It was very, very personable and a great guy to be around.
Did he make any promises to you at that point when you first met him?
I never was into promises because once again, I mean, if he wants me to lose 100 times in a row, win 100 times in a row, he's paying my paycheck.
Right.
That's his prerogative. I don't take it personally. Like, oh, are you out to bury me? No, I don't take it that way. If you think it's best for the company to lose 100 straight times, then you're paying me good money to lose 100 straight times. I'm going to lose 100 straight times. I never, no, never.
Were you welcomed over there, or was it political against the ex-WCW guys, or did they welcome you?
Looking back, I'm sure there's probably some, but no one said anything in my face. Everybody just was pretty cordial in my face, you know what I mean? But I'm sure there was some resentment, you know, of me coming in, especially that bodybuilding deal and stuff, you know. I heard there was resentment. I don't know, in fact, no one said that in my face, and there could have been. I'm not saying, I'm not naive enough to say there wasn't any,
Did WCW try to stop you from doing the WBF as well?
Yeah, they did. I mean,
when you left, were you still under contract with WCW?
I just couldn't wrestle under a wrestling contract. Yeah, I just couldn't wrestle.
Right.
So,
and
bodybuilding has nothing to do with wrestling.
Right.
So,
but they try to sue.
But they did try.
Yeah.
Were you at any point told that there might be an inevitable program with you and Hogan down the line, or
never? No, that was never even discussed. No, I always wanted to work with him. I respected him and thought, to this day, he's a huge name in the business. He could walk out there right now and he'll get a huge ovation.
Right.
So, but never promised. I don't know. Like I said, I've done under promises, or you don't have to promise me anything. You know what I mean? You're my boss.
Right.
You don't owe me anything other than pay me. If I work, you pay me. So, I don't need any promises. And he never promised me anything.
Okay. What actually happened with your motorcycle accident? And is it true that you actually have a plate in your arm?
Yeah, I had to do it. There's 7. It's about this long, and there's 7 screws down through both bones right there.
Wow.
That actually, the bone came through 2 spots. I actually was into a curve that was a lot more of a curve than I thought. It was a dusk, and when you track a 700-pound Harley into a curve, and you're going too fast, and it was banked the wrong way. It was instead of banked this way, it went this way. It was banked kind of this way, so everything was working against me. And just when I came around that curve, there was a car there at the same time. I mean, it was just.
Yeah, lucky.
I've had a lot of lucky things happen, but and I was lucky to survive that. I mean, I head on in the car, man. I mean, I flew off that motorcycle like a space rocket. I mean, I must have flipped 15, 20. I felt like it was on the only way I can describe it. I felt like it was on a dryer or a washer machine. And tumble. I mean, man. And there was trees everywhere. I missed every tree. So I mean, my arm was real bad. They were thinking about doctors at the hospital in Atlanta before Andrews in Birmingham, who's I love to death. He's my man. Right. They were talking about cutting my arm off. Wow. Because it was so bad. Because they said all your nerves run through here, and with both bones sticking out like that, I had double compound fracture and dislocated elbow. They said he'll never have fulfilling his hand again. I've never had any loss of mobility or strength in my right hand, left hand, or anything. So, and even Andrew said, I did surgery, but the rest is with luck and Mother Nature and God.
Right. Know? How long did they tell you were going to be out for?
They said it would probably be about, well, they're not exact bones, It's kind of like when we keep it in x-rays until it's healed. You know?
Right.
They felt probably about 5-6 months when I came back. I was usually came off injuries faster than most, luckily. I usually did. Fortunately, hardly ever missed a match in my whole career, so I was lucky there too. But I mean, durability-wise.
Right.
So, which I think is a big plus for promoters because, push come to shove, some guys get a great reaction, but they're hurt at the time, you know.
Right.
And I very rarely got hurt.
Right.
And I mean, knock on wood once again, but I was very fortunate. I hardly ever missed a match my whole career due to injuries. So I've been hurt,
Right.
but I mean, I was also taught by Matt Suda, if you can walk to the ring, you can wrestle.
Right. Right.
You know, so you know, you don't be a baby and say, "Oh, my shoulder hurts," or a little bit of, you know. I separated both my shoulders, and bone sticks out here. I didn't even know it because I wrestled. I had a ruptured disc. I wrestled with, didn't know it. You know, I was taught that. I was brought in that if you're hurt, but if you can still like walk to the ring, you still
That works.
the crowd shows up, you're advertised, you do it. You know,
Right.
kind of attitude. You know.